morning.
Coach, if you dropped a piece of gum on the floor, would you still put it in your mouth after 5 seconds? Does that just happen in the room?
I'm not a germaphobe, but I'd say no.
Riker.
It's not antibiotics, it's okay.
Perfect.
Coach, looks like Jack was out there, kind of flying around. Is he back in tonight?
Yeah, he's playing tonight.
Who's coming out for him?
Watch warm-up, you'll find out.
The way that you talked about that the other day, like how you like Sam for one game and Jack for another, is there a possibility that if Sam sticks around, it'll be that kind of like timeshare?
Yeah, there's always that possibility.
How important is it to have a good outing, regardless of the outcome, having a good game tonight so you guys can go to the break feeling good about, where you're at?
Yeah, I think it's pretty important, Usually after a loss, I'm miserable for at least a day to get over it. So, yeah, I'd like to start the trip off in a good mood, and winning tonight would really help that.
Yeah, you've had better success at home, obviously, and the last matchup against the Kings in their building didn't turn out the way, we wanted. So what are we looking to do differently at home against them tonight?
Well, different circumstances. That was a tough road trip playing on a back-to-back, playing a rested Kings team. We had a little bit of a different approach to that game than we normally had, playing them or anybody else. A little bit experimental, but I liked lots of the things that we did. I think we were 1-1 late in the third before they busted it open, so we at least gave ourselves a chance to win. I think there's some things that we can take out of that game and use tonight. Mainly how disciplined we were with the puck and not trying to create something out of nothing and give them opportunities, because they're really disciplined in the way that they check. But certainly tonight we're rested, we're at home, we're feeling pretty good about our attack here recently, and we got to get up and on our toes and force these guys to check us. It's part of it. I know their record isn't great lately, but like I said yesterday, I've looked at all their analytics. I've now watched them play, and they're playing good hockey. It's a fine line between winning and losing. The only difference, or there's a couple differences, but the biggest difference between them now on this losing streak and when they were on a win streak is they're not capitalizing on some of their chances like they were. It doesn't mean they're not creating them, and they're not getting timely saves when they need them, So, it's a little bit of both, and it could be one thing on one night and the other the next, but I don't think their game has changed a lot from the times when they're winning to now.
Their last time out, they had a couple guys, Drew Doughty, their coach, kind of come out and call the team out in some ways.
Yep.
Do you guys pay attention to that at all? Kind of like, this is a team looking for a bounce back, let's get on them early. Does that at all go into anything?
Sure, yeah. But teams were saying that about us when Taser called out some of our room, and we did come out and play well after that. So it's nothing new. Like people in your organization, coaches, players, whoever it is, you're going to be unhappy and looking to bounce back after any losses, and especially when some losses string together, right? And you're going to want to keep things going when things are going well. It's just I don't think it changes a whole lot either way. They're going to be hungry. They need the points. We need the points. We should be a hungry team as well.
Jared, you added a couple of forwards in the offseason, Colton and Wood. You talk about their roles they've been used in this year, and have they met your expectations?
Yeah, I think they have. I would say both guys, for me, as advertised. What we looked at in video and in previous seasons, recent past, and our interest in acquiring those guys and bringing them onto our roster, they're living up to what they've been doing in the past and then some for me. I think Colton's playing power play 5-on-5, and he's playing center. We moved him to center. In recent past, he was on the wing with Tampa. He's really grown in that role over the course of the season. I think a little rusty and in unfamiliar territory early in the season, but he's kind of settled in and really grown in the center position role. Production is on pace or better than last year. He's doing a nice job chipping in offensively and locking it down on the defensive side. Wood wasn't penalty killing last year. He's a huge part of our penalty kill here this year, and playing on a line with Colton and OC. And what I love about both those guys and O'Connor and all three of them together, for that matter, is there's a lot of grit, determination, physicality. Their scoring chances come off hard work and competitiveness, not just sort of like raw skill. They all have a similar mindset when it comes to their work ethic and defending habits. So it works for them to help other lines in that regard if we split them up, but yet together they've been highly effective. So yeah, really happy with those guys so far this year.
Ellie has a lot of depth down the middle.
Yep.
And talking about Ross Colton, what is your expectation? How do you prepare him for what is likely to be a tough matchup against?
He's getting a tough matchup every night right now. I mean, he's playing in our 2-hole, and there's not a team in the league that doesn't have a good top 6, you know. So it's nothing that he can't check all 4 lines at once, right? So he's going to be playing against a tough matchup. But that's no different, honestly, than what he's been doing here for the last 2 months.
You mentioned that, with Devon Taves, kind of having that moment a couple months ago, whatever it was now, Drew Doughty a couple nights ago. Those are 2 guys that are veteran players, have won cups. Is that the sign of championship mentality of understanding when you can say stuff like that publicly and what the team needs?
Yeah, I mean, I think, listen, you're gonna get to a point when your team's not performing the way you want them to, that like there's got to be some honest conversation, right? And sometimes it's frustration with the media. That's what the media's digging for after the game, and sometimes you're just like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna let it out. I don't see that as a negative. I didn't with Taser. Everyone wants to be like, well, I wish you would have handled it in-house. Yeah, I mean, it can be handled in-house too, but sometimes the reality is what it is, and people around the league aren't naive to what's going on. So you can read between the lines and say, like, there's going to be some frustration there, and everyone knows it, and it's just about how your team's going to respond. And sometimes it takes some hard conversations, whether they're behind closed doors or whether it's to the media, in order to kind of get everyone clicked into what they need to do. And so I don't mind guys saying their opinion. They're part of your team, and they're entitled to an opinion. So if they have it, everyone might agree with it, or everyone might disagree, or a little bit of both, but you're still entitled to your opinion.
A few last one, Corey.
Sometimes the media will overblow those things.
Yeah.
Was that actually
Sometimes.
a turning point? Was that actually a turning point for you guys, or was that just something that it come naturally sometime after that?
Well, I think we were working on the issues before that. Like, I'm sure LA Kings aren't just starting to, like, well, now it's time we got to start doing things right. Like, they've been working on. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Like I said, it's a fine line, right? Edmonton didn't just start working on having success when they started their 15-game run. I'm sure they're working on it from the start of the year, but there's often a delay in what you're doing to the success, right? So it didn't hurt us, It started some of those conversations in our room. I think the more frustrated our veteran guys got, the more they dug into what we need to do, and everyone else followed suit. And, I'm sure it'll be the same with the Kings. Like I said, they're a very good hockey team.
Coach, I talked to Bowen Byram. He said Cale already told the whole D-Corps if he wins the skills competition and the $1 million, he's giving them each $100K. Are you surprised by that?
No, I'm not surprised by that. Yeah, I mean, it's our group's pretty tight. That wouldn't surprise me to see some of our guys do that.
Thanks, Jared.
Yep, appreciate it. Thank you.
Coach.
One of the best in the league, and they play the right way and they're well coached. And it's always just a really tough game. So, like I said, I think we're in a mode here where we're focused on ourselves. We really believe in our game, and we believe in what we're doing. So, and we go in every night thinking we should. So if we put our best forward tonight, we'll give ourselves a good chance. And like I said, really good hockey team, and big break for us coming up. So we should be energized and ready to go.
Nate always speaks really highly of you and your work ethic. What can you say about him and what he's doing right now?
Yeah, I think, obviously, I think he's the best player in the world right now. It's just, that's just the fact. If anyone watches our game consistently, he's just, doing things out there that no one else is doing, I think, in the league. And he's so committed on the ice and off the ice that he deserves it. He puts a lot of time in, puts a lot of work. He treats this as he wants to be involved. So I don't know. He's 10 points in 2 games. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. But all our top guys, our top guys do it right. They're the leaders of the team. Not only are they good on the ice, but they're very focused and driven, and I think they deserve the success that they get. Personally, because I see the work they do on the ice and off the ice, and like I said, I think they do it.
Thanks, Coach Cox.
Yeah.
Is it hard to make sure when you go to the break to get your rest, get away, just because you guys are between these 2 crazy road trips, just to get your rest?
Yeah, I think it's important. I think the season's it's long, 82 games, a lot of games. It seems like it just keeps getting longer and longer, and maybe it's just the speed of the game, the intensity of the game. It's just hard on your body. So physically, mentally, you got to get away, and that's why we have these breaks. I think you got to take advantage of them. And I think it's always good feeling good about your game going into breaks. You want to feel good and confident, and know that you've done everything you have up to that. So hopefully you get a win tonight and go from there.
The Toronto game, you said we're about ready. There's a lot of proven winners in this room, but I was curious how that aspect has evolved over the course of this season in this group.
Yeah, I think as we go here every day, every game, every segment, it seems like we're believing more and more. Sometimes building a team and having a team that's there at the end takes a long time. It takes the whole season. It takes a process to do that. But I feel like we're getting there. We're not there yet. I think we're still finding our way in certain parts of the game, but with how our top guys are playing, with how our role guys have accepted their roles and focused on doing the right things, and how we're coached and our goaltending. I think if we keep progressing and keep doing what we're doing, we add players, get players back at some point. You feel really good about yourself going in the playoffs.
Thank you so much.
Could control things here, and we did, and I got back pretty quickly, so yeah, it was good.
So how are you feeling about LA? Last time you guys met, it's obviously you played better on home ice.
Yeah,
But
they're a really good team, and I think they're struggling a bit now, but every team goes through some ups and downs throughout the year, so it doesn't change that they're a good team. Like I said, we're gonna have to be prepared and play a full 60 minutes to win tonight.
It's only your second game back, and then you're about to go on a break. Are you going to do anything over the All-Star break to try and get back up to game speed?
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna take some time away too and just relax, reset. But I think I'll try to get some workouts in, and maybe get on the ice a few days before the team, just to kind of ramp up. The schedule's pretty crazy after the break, so you don't want to go in there too cold for sure.
And how do you follow up on a performance? The Washington game was obviously pretty incredible. What is your hopes for tonight then?
I think every team and every game, brings a different challenge. I think, LA plays a stingy game. They're tight through the neutral zone and don't give up many odd man rushes. So it's going to be a good challenge for us. I wouldn't be surprised if the game's going to end up 2-1 or 3-2. It'll be tight. So we've got to be able to win those games. So hopefully we can do so tonight.
Thanks, Bo.
Got a team that's been struggling a little bit coming in tonight, but I assume that makes them a dangerous team, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I still feel like from what we've seen, they're playing a lot better than what their late record's kind of shown. So for us, it's just going to be the same game plan. Obviously, we got to be on top of them and make sure that we can neutralize all their threats going in the net.
It's kind of a luxury having a home game. I mean, all the road games you guys have had before, and then all the road games you're going to have coming back.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of an interesting one. Obviously, a long road trip, and then you get a couple at home, which is nice, and then you hit another long road trip after the break. So for us, you got to take advantage of the home games that we have right now, so there's not many coming down the pipe. So yeah.
You guys are back in
Getting MacKinnon back the other day, I'm just what kind of boost is that for you guys?
It's huge. I mean, he's a warrior. That guy is just, he goes out there and grinds. He just battles for us. So to have a guy like that back in there with, it definitely gives you a lot of confidence. He'll retrieve a lot of pucks. You know, he's a guy that's going to go to the net every single time he's there. So, no, it's awesome to have him back. That's for sure.
Do you think you guys are playing your best hockey right now?
I don't think so. I mean, I feel like if you ask anybody in the league or even on our team that, I don't think guys would say that. I feel like there's still such a long ways to go, and we just got to continue to keep building. But I feel like we're doing a lot of good things right now. I just think that there's still more gears to our game that we can get to for sure.
Seeing the score of the Washington game still up on the scoreboard here at you guys' gate, is that something that you guys notice at all as players and looking to try to follow up that performance with something you can be proud of as well?
I didn't even notice that, to be completely honest with you, until you told me right now. So, yeah, I don't know if I can comment on that. I didn't really realize that. Sorry.
How do you follow up that performance for the national team?
Yeah, I think, like I was just touching, I think a lot of it comes from confidence. Obviously, we get a couple of guys back in the lineup, but then a slow start to that game, but then we kind of found our strengths and again started getting guys going to the net, whether it was like good plays down low. I felt like at the end of the day, we just started retrieving pucks better, I think, on the front end of things.
Cale, is anyone playing better in the league right now than Nate?
I feel like that's a flat-out no. I don't think there's anybody on the planet right now that's playing better hockey than him. Yeah, I mean, I touched on this the other day. I think he's at the top of his game right now. It's really fun to watch, but in my mind, I still feel like he has another gear, which is a scary part. So, yeah.
Tate McRae was the co-captain for the All-Star game. Are you familiar with her as an artist at all?
I mean, I know about her a little bit. I don't know her. I know she's from Calgary and stuff, but I think my brother's actually pretty good friends with her older brother. Just like, I don't know if they grew up playing against each other, so yeah, I guess just a weird connection that way, but yeah. So I don't know much about her though.
That's okay.